Good evening. I call to order the Lake Havasu City Council regular meeting on Tuesday, May 28th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. We'll now have an invocation from Joan DeZuro, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by the VFW Dennis Dickey.
Mr. Mayor, council, and staff, if we could bow our hearts, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you this evening for all the blessings you've bestowed on this wonderful city of ours. Tonight, we ask you to give each person on the dais tonight wisdom as they deal with issues for our city. Also, dear Father, we ask you to watch over our police officers and firefighters. Please give them each wisdom to perform their complex jobs and safety so that they return home to their loved ones each day. We love you, Lord, and we ask these things in Jesus' most holy name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Yeah, if you please share a little bit about your organization.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for having us come up here today. We really appreciate what the City Council has done for us throughout the years and participating in our Memorial Day service last week, or this weekend on that thing. Okay, our post commander on it, which is Omer Ether. Myself, I'm the quartermaster, Dennis Dickey on it. Our project manager on that thing is Lee Gorman. But I want to give you a little bit of a background of what we're doing on the thing. You notice everybody who has driven by London Bridge Road, you now see a huge mural that's out there. This started out as just a simple project that we were going to do just to clean up the building. That building was a shambles on the outside of that before. And well, that's true. As part of that, that's what our intent was to do, was to beautify this entire system, to bring honor to all veterans, no matter where they are, whether or not they don't have to be just a veteran of a foreign war. We felt that anybody who has put a uniform on has served this country one way or another to protect it from all our enemies. So that's why we decided we wanted to dedicate this to them. As you can see where Lee is standing right there, under it we have the mural. There are tiles underneath those murals on that thing. Those murals will eventually have the names of veterans. Any veteran can have his name engraved on that tile. Okay. Which is going to be a great thing on it. Doesn't, like I said, doesn't have to be a veteran of a foreign war. We broke this thing down into a couple of phases, and basically what those two phases are, our first wall, phase one is the mural itself. It's on that. There are two murals. There are two murals. One is the huge one. The other one is our Stairway to Heaven. If you'll notice closely on that, when you look at it, you're looking up, you see a soldier standing there like he's going through the portal. That's going from this earth into heaven on that thing. There's blue clouds and skies above it then to signify that. All the tiles that are underneath that will be KIAs, MIAs, and any other fallen veteran that we know of. And that's what that side is dedicated. And that's what we're doing that for the Gold Star Mothers and stuff on it. We're doing that for them. They do not have to buy these. We're putting them in there. We have a lot of different sections on it. We want to eventually put, along the sidewalk there, park benches on it so people can come and sit and reflect on it. The second phase of this thing will be the area right there. Lee, when you show this side of the building on it like that, what we have there is there's a granite slab that's going to be in that thing that will identify all 108 wars that the United States has been involved in. And with that, and the number of who have fallen from it. Next to it, you'll see that at the gate there, we have a banner that was put up there on that thing that signifies our honor for the veterans. All veterans on that. Next to it is our Buddy Poppy field. There'll be metal poppies there on a granite slab. Along with that, they'll be identified. You want to? No, in a planter. They'll be in a planter. And then behind that will be home, field of poppies. Right. And an array behind it. It's really, guys, it's going to be a beautiful
Yeah, Mr. Gorman, could you grab onto this microphone? We need you get, yeah, if you can get onto a microphone,
Well, yeah,
sorry,
I'm sorry.
folks at home can't hear you.
That's
Yes.
fine.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to incorporate the feeling of our community, because this community is very special when it comes to veterans. And like the London Bridge, we want this to be a touchstone for veterans throughout the United States and or world. And in fact, we do have some veterans from Canada that are going to be a part of this. They're going to place their name on the wall as well. So we want everyone to feel a part of it. We've got an area where we're going to take 52 tiles for all 52 states and indicate the number of losses for each state, so that everyone will understand how their state contributed to the conflicts that we've had throughout our country's time from 1775 to date. Like Dennis was saying, that granite slab will have it'll be much like a marker would be. It'll be sandblasted. The dates in there. It'll be the date, the war, and the number of casualties lost in that war. And a lot of people don't realize there's 100. We fought 108 wars. We're now in 5 wars, and everybody thinks a war is has to be declared by Congress. But according to Webster Hoyle, a war is a conflict between 2 states. We are currently in a conflict between 2 states in 5 countries. So this is not only a tribute to the veterans, but it's an educational piece to the community. 93% of the population of the United States has never been a veteran or in military. A lot of them have an association, a father, mother, aunt, uncle, cousin, so on and so forth. We want this to be an educational piece. In fact, some of the contractors that we've had work on this have indicated that they would like to let the school have trips, classroom trips down to see the memorial and to go through some of the various areas of it. It's going to be all-inclusive as to, what a veteran is. A lot of people, because of Hollywood, because of books and whatnot, Rainbow and feel that veterans are broken and they're dysfunctional and there's always a problem with them. We want to make sure that they know the other side, that veterans are people and they're a part of the community and they want to contribute to the community. And we want the 93% to see that.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why we wanted to move forward with this. Like I said, we started out something very small, and now it has gone way beyond where we ever imagined that it would be. One of the big things that we're looking for right now, that we've already spent $25,000 on to begin with. We're self-funded on that thing. We got about $20,000 that we're still obligated to do on that thing. But the entire project's going to run about $115,000 to get everything done. That includes that podium down there that has the Cross of Malta, and above the Cross of Malta will be a granite slab on that, identifying the origin of the Cross of Malta and what it is and how it began throughout the ages, back from the 1400s on that. Well, like I said, that's one of the things that we wanted to be able to come to do and let people know what we're doing. Yes, we're looking for support. We need help in order to finish this out. We're going to other agencies also on that thing and asking for their support on it. But anything that we can do and get would be highly appreciated. We're here for this country, for this city. We want this city to be known, as our mayor has always stated, the #1 American patriot city in America. And I want that to happen.
Yeah, Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you for showcasing.
If in fact you feel generous enough and you have some discretionary funds in the budget that could help us along the
Jump to the microphone, please. Yeah.
If you have some discretionary funds that you feel that you can contribute to our effort, we would much appreciate it. And I think it would be a benefit to the entire community. And we certainly can provide you with the financials and so on and so forth so that you know exactly where we stand.
Excellent. Thank you again for being here. We never have discretionary funds. We're funded through taxpayers, so we don't have those, but we can appreciate that. Thank you again for being here. If you want to learn more, please reach out to the VFW, and you can learn more about their project and what is coming next. So thank you again for being here. We'll move on to item 4 of the agenda, which is the roll call. Ms. Williams, if you please call the roll.
Council members Nancy Campbell. Here. Michelle Lynn. Here. Jenny Koch. Here. Jim Dolan. David Lane.
Here.
Vice Mayor Cameron Moses.
Here.
Mayor Kal Sheehy.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5 is our consent agenda. Would any of the council members like to remove any of the items for separate discussion?
Mayor,
Councilmember Koch,
motion?
please.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Koch. We have a second from Vice Mayor Moses. Is there any additional discussion? We're ready to vote.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. Item 6 is correspondence, communications, petitions, announcements, and the city manager report. Item 6.1, the investment report as of March 31st, 2024 has been included in our packet and is available on our website, and it'll be filed as such. Item 6.2 is announced vacancies on Lake Havasu City boards, committees, and commissions. Ms. Williams?
Mayor and City Council, there are several vacancies on the Havasu City boards, committees, and commissions. The following is a listing of those current and upcoming vacancies. Airport Advisory Board, 1 pilot member, 1 non-pilot member, and 1 pilot alternate member. Board of Adjustment, 3 regular members and 3 alternate members. Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, 3 regular members. Planning and Zoning Commission, 3 regular members and 2 alternate members. Anyone interested can pick up a packet at City Hall, and they are also available on the city's website at lhcaz.gov. Applications will be accepted up until this Friday, May 31st by 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6.3 is our city manager's report. Good evening, Mr. Knudsen.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I'd like to start off the manager's report this evening by turning it over to Assistant to the City Manager, Anthony Kozlowski. He's got an update about some of the improvements we've been making in our parks and some future plans for some park improvements. Mr. Kozlowski?
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. With this presentation, I'd like to give you a brief overview of kind of what our parks team has been utilizing the $500,000 in park maintenance and improvements within our parks during this fiscal year, as well as some of the improvements we have planned as part of that additional $500,000 in next fiscal year's budget. Some of our recent park improvements consist of some improvements at Sarah Park, which include an installation of a new scoreboard, ball field grading at Sarah Park as well. Our team has really done a great job in working with the user groups of these different facilities and trying to identify ways that we can make improvements within the parks system. With that as well, we're also working on ongoing improvements at Sarah Park for our overall signage throughout the area as well. This was identified as part of grants with state parks. So we've been working with them and our team to identify ways we can improve our signage throughout our trail system as well as throughout the user groups as well and making improvements there. At Site 6, not only did we just have the ribbon cutting for the ramp, our team has been doing a great job in making improvements to the landscaping as well as the bathrooms out at Site 6. Our future plan in the next few months will be will be to make maintenance improvements to the boat ramp itself, and making preparations for the upcoming summer and monsoon seasons as well, to make sure that that facility is in good working shape. At Rotary and LBB, we've had some recent projects there as well, as far as making improvements to shade structures and ramadas. We've added additional lighting on our playground equipment at LBB. Our hope is to continue making lighting improvements throughout those two facilities in the next fiscal year as well. As we get a little deeper into the presentation, I'll have some updates on that as well. Our parks team, led by our park superintendent, have done a fantastic job in making sure that we are being proactive in our parks with utilizing some of these funds to make additional improvements, as far as improvements to our water fountains, our landscaping throughout the parks, as well as trying to do as much as we can as far as making playground equipment improvements as well. So we're doing our best to being out there, being visible in our parks, and making sure that we're taking advantage of those dollars appropriately and making needed improvements. So the proposed plan that we've been working on with our parks team for the next fiscal year really takes into account some of the needs that our user groups have identified through recent conversations with them regarding the need for dugout improvements out at Sarah Park, making those needed changes by adding a crow's nest, as well as better shade and updating and making improvements with the use of paint and making changes and making them just look overall in much better shape than what they're currently in. Ramada A out at Rotary Park, this facility has really reached its useful life, and with some of these funds, we'll be looking at making improvements to that facility in the next fiscal year. Ball field lighting continues to be identified by a number of the user groups as far as a need to improve the overall lighting at our ball fields, and not only at Sarah, but at Rotary Park as well. We'll be adding additional playground equipment at the island ball fields as well as a shade structure, and making additional shade structure improvements to the Rotary Park swing set on the beach, as well as identifying other areas throughout the park system for ramadas as well. Based off of that, we'll go in a little deeper as far as the ball field improvements. We'll be looking at the crow's nest as well as the dugouts and making needed improvements there. We've most recently, led by our park superintendent, have graded those fields. Field 1 just was completed most recently, so that it really looks in great shape. Saved a lot of money throughout that project as well. The Rotary Community Park Ramada A structure has really corroded and rusted over the years and is in need of a replacement. So that, as you can see from these photos, we'll be taking advantage of those funds and making improvements there as well. Ball field lighting, we'll be looking at a number of our ball fields that really the technology in some of these lighting systems is older and really needs improvement through LED and other means to add the necessary lighting for the user groups to be able to use the fields at night. So we'll be utilizing those funds to upgrade those lighting systems as well. And the island ball fields, as I mentioned, we'll be adding some playground equipment and a shade structure. Recently, we've been working with the user groups out there to really add some additional fencing, upgrade the goalposts, and we look forward to working with that group moving forward to find ways we can add and improve to that facility in the future as well. And the shade canopies at Rotary, we'll be adding shade canopies there too for the swing set, which really we will allow the users to have access to that facility year round, especially in the hotter months. We'll also be looking at ways we can add additional shade ramadas at Sarah Park throughout the trail system as well, wherever we think might be necessary as we work with the user groups at that facility as well. And with that, that concludes my presentation. As you can see, our parks team is very active and busy and utilizing some of those funds to really make much needed improvements throughout the system. With that, we'll be continuing to look at other ways we can not only utilize the $500,000, but also identify other grant funding as well to make necessary improvements for future use of the system. And with that, that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kozlowski. Appreciate that. Lots happening within our park system and a lot more to come. So thanks to you and thanks to Mr. Guy Reynolds, our park superintendent, for all the work that, and then the team for all the work that's being done.
Thank you.
Waiting for the screen to come in, and I'll start the remainder of the report. I guess I'll go ahead and get started, and then when the screen pops up, I think it's kind of, there we go. So since last we met at the last council meeting, Mayor, you proclaimed Public Works Week, and to thank our Public Works employees for all the good things that they do for Lake Havasu City. Also recognized Emergency Medical Services Week. We had our National Tourism Week, and we had Starline Dude Be Nice Week in honor of Starline PTA. And we also had, of course, the Memorial Day ceremony just yesterday in honor of our military men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Special thanks to the Lake Havasu Yacht Club. They were very generous with their donation and are helping to support our Parks and Recreation's summer program. So thank you very much. We appreciate you, Lake Havasu Yacht Club. Fun picture. On May 15th, Lake Havasu High School students in the CTE Fire Service Program held a showcase for their family and friends as part of their final exam to demonstrate their skills that they learned after completion of a 2-year program. Wearing the heavy turnout gear, they showcased pulling hose, connecting to a hydrant, spraying water, performing a rescue, and many more activities. Congratulations to all of our high school students who completed the program. And special thanks to Gina Gutierrez, who is our public education specialist, and her team for their time and dedication in coordinating this valuable program. Congratulations to our senior graduates that were involved in the Havasu Youth Advisory Council, or what we call HIAC. All 3 of our seniors participated in all 4 years of the Youth Council, and we will sorely miss them. In the photo from left to right, you'll see that's Jake Crook, Kason Blumenkamp, and Sienna Anderson. Jake is joining the Air Force as an aerospace medical technician. While active in the military, plans to pursue a degree in kinesiology and physiology. Jake said he learned leadership skills and the importance of commitment while in HIAC. And he added that he appreciates the camaraderie with the other students from different grades, and he may not otherwise have had without the HIAC program. And he especially enjoyed getting involved within the community. Kason is attending the University of Arizona in the fall for business. He said he had a lot of fun in HIAC and met some lifelong friends and loved to go to the League Youth Conference, which happens every year. He learned conflict resolution and public speaking, and he also really enjoyed the community service aspect of the program. And finally, last but not least, is Sienna. She's attending ASU to pursue a nursing degree. She's commented that she learned teamwork, leadership skills, and how local government works. She enjoyed traveling with the group to the League Conference and all the other activities that they participated in together. So congratulations to all 3 of you, and we wish you lots of luck in your future endeavors. We are proud to announce the opening of our newly enhanced island walking path, which officially will start tomorrow, Wednesday, May 29th. Of course, the island walking path is 3.5 miles of paved asphalt, a loop around the interior of the island. It offers unobstructed views of the surrounding mountains and is great exercise when you use the track for walking, jogging, or cycling. To celebrate the completion and commemorate this occasion, the city invites the public to attend official ribbon cutting tomorrow morning, May 29th at 8:30 a.m. It'll be on the path on the west side of the island near the parking lot across from Beachcombers and Site 6. So please join us tomorrow morning. The walking path was removed and replaced, and the loop includes new vehicle crossing improvements and crosswalks, striping and signage. And the sports field parking lots were also repaved as part of this project. And happy to announce the project was completed ahead of schedule and under budget. Speaking of preserving roadways, we're all gearing up to seal various streets in the downtown, uptown area starting on Sunday. So work will begin on June 2nd and will continue for approximately 1 week on McCulloch Boulevard from Acoma to Smoke Tree. We'll be sealing Scott Drive, also on Mulberry from McCulloch to Swanson, and on Swanson from Acoma to Smoke Tree. There's a map that is on the website, so I encourage you to go take a look at that. We are utilizing what is called a high-density mineral bond, or affectionately called HA5, which is used to cover approximately 67,000 square yards of asphalt. This helps us prolong the life of the roadway and secure our investment into our roads. This type of application generally lasts longer than other seals previously used by the city. So this product will cut down on the number of times we have to touch the road. But this product takes about 24 hours to cure. So please be patient. The McCulloch portion of the road work we're going to do that on Sunday to try to minimize most of the impacts with the downtown businesses. But that'll be going from June 2nd on Sunday through end of the week. So please respect the signs in the area and help us protect our roadways. So thank you for all of your consideration and patience throughout this process. And with that, Mayor, that concludes my presentation, or my report.
Thank you, Mr. Knudsen. All right, we'll move on to item 7, which is our public hearings. During the public hearing process, if you would like to engage in the conversation, which we encourage you to do, we will open a public hearing at each of those items. We ask that you engage with us at that time. We can have a two-way conversation, answer any of your questions. At the end of our public hearing section, there will be a call to the public. That is an opportunity where citizens have to address the council on items within the jurisdiction of Lake Havasu City, but we can't have a two-way conversation at that point. So again, we encourage you to do that. There is a light indicator. There's a countdown on the screens now. So you'll see a countdown on the screens when you do come up and have the discussion. And we ask that you just follow through on those countdowns. So we'll start with item 7.1, which is approve the master services agreement with JAE Consultants for Oracle Cloud Software support for contracts and procurement modules. Ms. Olson.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. This item is to approve a master services agreement with JAE Consultants. We've used them for the last year for the technical expertise that they provide in the Oracle system. For those of you familiar with CAMTRA, because we seem to be talking about CAMTRA a lot, they're like the procurement specific CAMTRA. So they're providing the technical support and the expertise in a couple of areas. We do have 2 work orders, statement of scope of work orders here. One is for general technical assistance. We still have parts of the modules that need to be configured, some reconfigured and implemented so that we're getting full use of the Oracle modules that we have. And then we also are working to update the supplier portals and what they call the punch-out catalogs. And what the punch-out catalogs are is a direct communication between a company's system when we order and our accounting system. So the employees can go in and place an order through that portal. It will actually populate the information to create the requisition. It eliminates a lot of redundancy in entering the information, and it makes it easier administratively, not only for the company, but for the city as well. So we're trying to expand on that. It's a lot of work, each supplier portal, but we're trying to expand that as much as possible. I believe the city clerk sent you an updated council communication. Staff decided instead, the total for the 2 statements of work, scope of works are the same, but we're dividing it kind of evenly between work order 1 and work order 2. So those amounts are just changed from what they were to $55,962 for each scope of work order. With that, I'll answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Olson. Are there any questions from members of the council for Ms. Olson on this item? All right, this is a public hearing. Would anyone like to address the city council on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to council for discussion or possible motion.
Mayor, motion.
Yeah, Councilmember Lane.
I move to approve and authorize the city manager to execute the master services agreement and scope of work order agreements 1 and 2 with JAE Enterprise Consulting LLC on behalf of the city, and authorize staff to execute the option to renew for 2 one-year terms.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Lane, a second from Vice Mayor Moses. Is there any additional discussion? Seeing none, we're ready to vote.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 7.2 is approve a change order number 6 for construction contract for the repaving of the Grand Isle Park path as part of the Island Path Repave project with Pioneer Earth Movers, Inc. Mr. Wolf?
Mayor?
Yeah, Councilmember Campbell?
Excuse myself.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here tonight to present change order number 6 to this project. This is related to the Island Path Repave project, a 3.5-mile loop that was previously awarded by Council back in October. This is an add to connect the Grand Island Park path to the 3.5-mile loop. This is an overview of the island trail map that we've got with various sites and things. I believe some of these can be updated. There are more than what's shown here, but gives you an outline of how we're presenting this pathway to the public. We're looking at a construction plan here for the outer loop that you see, but Grand Island Park is located in the center of this area, and we wanted to make sure we could connect and rehabilitate the Grand Island Park path also as part of these path improvements. It's about 3,375 feet of 8 foot wide, a little less width than the main path, but it'll be 2 inches of asphalt. The improvement scope, as you can see, the asphalt is getting very worn, cracked, as well as very rough surface. Some of the edges are even breaking up, and we still have connections to the concrete. I'm including a couple of these pictures with the existing trees just to show it is a little more narrow work area. And so getting the equipment in and out of here has cost us a little more to add to the project, but not much and very much needed. The improvements, here's the original contract amount was, of course, $1.572 million. We negotiated down to $264,000 and change. The original contract, we had a savings of about $36,000 with an underrun in quantities and leftover force account funds. So we were able to reduce the work for a total contract increase of $228,350.70. So tonight, and I have other items of pertinence in the council communication. The biggest one being there was additional ARPA funds allocated for the project that were available through finance, and that becomes available. Those funds became available July 1st, the new fiscal, as well as a 90-day contract extension to add this work and have it done within the next 90 days. Should you approve the contract tonight, we would begin work on July 1 for a new notice to proceed. So the award recommendation would be to approve change order number 6 to the construction contract with Pioneer Earth Movers, Inc. to repave the Grand Island Park path as part of the Island Path Repave project in the amount of $228,350.70. And I'll open it up for any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf. Are there any questions from members of council for Mr. Wolf? Yeah, this area is commonly referred to as like the shortcut. So if you park at the intersection of Beachcomber and McCulloch and start to do the island walking path, and you can't make it all the way around, you would go through this area and cuts it basically in half. Also, a lot of our 5Ks that use Grand Island Parkway for the charity runs and stuff, they use the same pathway. And as you showed, Mr. Wolf, it is in bad disrepair, and there's even more pitted areas that you can see when you're actually using it. So, all right, if there are no additional questions or comments, we'll open up the public hearing. Would anyone like to address the City Council on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to council for discussion or possible motion.
Mayor,
Councilmember Lane?
I just wanted to make a comment. This just makes sense to me. We've already done the outside path, and so many people in the community use this and have wanted this. This is something that is used more by our local citizens than our visitors. And although it's expensive, we've talked a lot lately about expenses. This is $1.8 million total just to repave an island walking path. But it is something that our citizens need, and it just, to me, makes sense to complete this project so that we don't have half of it looking good, half of it looking bad, and then later we go to fix the other half, then the other half looks good, and the other half looks bad. It just makes sense to do it all at once. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
If not, I will make a motion.
Councilmember Lane?
Thank you. I move to approve change order number 6 to the construction contract with Pioneer Earth Movers, Inc. to repave the Grand Island Park path as part of the Island Path Repave Project in the amount of $228,350.70.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Lane and a second from Councilmember Koch. Is there any additional discussion? Seeing none, we're ready to vote.
Motion carries with 5 council members voting aye and 1 council member recusal.
Thank you. All right, item 7.3 is approve the cooperative purchase agreement and cooperative purchase of one 2025 Freightliner 114 SD with truck mounted combination sewer cleaner from AZ Wastewater Industries, Inc. Mr. Young?
Why are Vector trucks so important to the wastewater industry? Wastewater has a large maintenance program that goes 70 plus pump stations, 350 miles of gravity line feeds. We currently have 2 Vector trucks that we purchased in 2019 that run 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. One cleans the lift station wet wells, the other one cleans the main lines. Lift stations. All the lift stations, wet wells get vacuumed at the top weekly, and the major lift stations get vacuumed completely down to clean out all the debris to keep the pumps from being damaged. I'm being notified that the mic is not close enough. All right. So we clean the wet wells to keep the pumps from being damaged. If those pumps blow, they can run on the big wells anywhere from $150,000 to $180,000. If we're lucky enough to rebuild them, they can run up to $50,000 straight for the rebuild. In 2023, we did 98.9 miles. They try to average 100 miles a year as far as cleaning the mains. This prevents the back blockages and overflows. Currently, our spare is a 2010 Kenworth, and it has taken a beating. All the Vector trucks are severe use, hauling up big rocks and dirt and water all at the same time. This one's being limped along. Since 2019, we've increased our maintenance with the wastewater facilities, and it has decreased our sewer overflows as well as our catastrophic pump failures. A little video to see how this goes, if it'll start here. Supposed to start. Well, we're going to have to move on. With that, we're looking for a new Vector truck. It's a 2025 Freightliner 114 SD at the cost of $619,048.81. These Vector trucks do more than just clean the sewers. I've had them help with my projects. As far as a year and a half ago, we helped water go down to one of their valves right in front of the mayor's resort there, 16 feet deep down, and we went through all the utilities you could, went around all the utilities you could to get to this valve, and we were able to do that because of the Vector trucks. So, very much needed piece of equipment.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Are there questions for Mr. Young? For members of the council? Yeah, Councilman
Mr. Young, can you go back a couple pictures to the big giant rag monster? Yes. There. Either one of those pictures is fine. It's just, this is a good opportunity, I think, to remind the public when they're purchasing items at the store that say that they are safe for flushing down the toilet. No, they are not. This is what happens, and this is what's destroying and our infrastructure are those things. They don't pour grease. Grease helps coagulate all that. And also don't put anything other than manufactured toilet paper and your body waste down your toilet, because this is what happens and it costs all of us money to have it fixed. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Councilmember Lane. Any additional comments or questions from members of council? All right, this is a public hearing. Would anyone like to address the city council on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to council for discussion or possible motion.
Mayor, motion.
Yeah, Councilmember Lane.
I move to approve and authorize the city manager to execute the cooperative purchase agreement and approve the purchase of one 2025 Freightliner 114 SD with truck-mounted combination sewer cleaner from Arizona Wastewater Industries, Inc. in the amount of $619,048.81, and authorize city staff to exercise the option to renew the agreement for one additional one-year term.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Lane, a second from Vice Mayor Moses. Is there any additional discussion? Seeing none, we're ready to vote.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Campbell?
how long are we expecting for it to get here? Are we talking years?
Last I heard, I believe it was, no, not a year, but it was about 8 months out. It's Freightliner, so they do have their chassis readily available.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll be sooner than that, but last talking with Freightliner, their chassis are ready to go.
Well, we're improving. Very good.
We're trying, yep.
All right, we'll move on to item 7.4, which is our final public hearing. Awarded the proposal for the HVAC system unit replacements of 6 wall mount HVAC units to Air Control Home Services. Mr. Young?
Yes, we have 6 units going on the electrical and control buildings for both the water plant and the wastewater plants. These units are specially made for those buildings. They're called BARD units and specific systems. We're looking for the approval of $164,788 for these 6 units. They're all 20 plus years or older, have been starting to cost the city a little more money than we care to spend. And they are currently still running R22, which is not being made anymore. So if we want to keep things flowing, we got to keep things cool. So I move that we accept this for air control services for $164,788.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Are there questions from members of the council for Mr. Young? Yeah, when I first heard the amount, it took me by surprise. But then once you start looking at the detailed bid proposal, they're 6-ton units, 10-ton units. I mean, these are really large units, larger than what we would use at our homes. So, and then once you do all the math, it comes out to the amount. So
It does, and each one's specifically engineered for the building that it's taken care of.
Any other questions from members of the council? All right, this is a public hearing. Would anyone like to address the city council on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to council for discussion or possible motion.
Mayor? Go ahead, Jenny.
Councilmember Koch,
Thanks. Motion.
please.
I move to award the proposal for the HVAC system unit replacements P24-PW-500484 to Air Control Home Services for the replacement of 2 10-ton wall mount HVAC units at the North Treatment Plant and 4 6-ton wall mount HVAC units at the Water Treatment Plant in the amount of $164,788.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Koch. We have a second from Vice Mayor Moses. Is there any additional discussion? Seeing none, we're ready to vote.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item 8. This is the call to the public that I mentioned earlier. If you would like to address the city council with an item within the jurisdiction of Lake Havasu City, we invite you to the podium to do so. Your comments are limited to 3 minutes. Again, there will be an indicator on the screens. It'll change colors as we go down, but we ask that you respect that. We can't have a two-way conversation during this time, but we can listen intently to any comments you may have. You don't have to sign up, and we didn't have anyone sign up, but if you'd like to address the city council during call to the public, please make your way to the podium and state your name for the record.
Don Wisdom. We go to Site 6 a lot. Like to watch the sun go down and watch the people fish. And they just redid the boat ramp. You're talking about spending $1 million some dollars redoing the fishing dock. The old buildings that McCullough built by the launch ramp, they've been there, nothing's been done to them. Is there any plans for making those look more attractive, tear them down, do something? Everything's being improved around it, and we're not paying any attention to those buildings. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, council, mayor, all y'all. I was out walking this morning. Oh my goodness, that thing's loud. And when I was out walking on Harris Way and Smoke Tree, because I was walking down to the beach, that these came off of, I guess, apparently your new curb. And I wasn't sure what to do with them because they were like on the side of the street right there on the corner. At the new alleyway on Harris Way, because they put it so it only goes one direction now. And these are brand new apparently the glue didn't stick very well. You might want to get new glue. I didn't know what to do with them or who to point them out to, so I figured since today was the city council meeting, I'd just go ahead and bring them to the city council and let y'all deal with them. The beach was very nice today. It still needs to be cleaned. I don't know when the next time it is you plan on cleaning all that duck poop out of the channel area, but it would be nice if it was done again sometime soon. Just don't put it in the grass bowl. Put it somewhere else. And then something I didn't understand during the meeting and I didn't ask afterwards was because it wasn't called to the public during that time when he talked about improving Site 6 boat ramp. Didn't you guys just do that? So I don't understand why it has to be improved if you just improved it. I'm slightly confused on that. And if I can make a suggestion, Mr. Knudsen, can you do a video of you explaining the street closures for everybody and just put that out on the Facebook page so then people would be able to see and know where to not travel the next few days. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the City Council during call to the public? Seeing none, we'll close the call to the public. Moving on to item 9, which is current events. Are there any council committee reports?
Mayor?
Yeah, Councilmember Campbell.
I just want to give an update when it comes to traveling to Kingman over the next couple months, quite a few months. If you're driving to Kingman, you'll see a lot of road construction, signage all starting to be prepared there. Those roads will be being milled and filled and repaved and I believe sealed. So if you're planning on going to Kingman, just be very mindful. I can't give you all the details of which directions, but just be aware of it. We're really excited. Part of the appropriation bill for rural Arizona, that was one of the roads. And then as soon as they're done with that, I understand it's the other direction as well. So just give yourselves a little bit more time traveling to Kingman to start.
Thank you. Mayor. Yeah, Councilmember Lane.
Thank you. Yeah, just wanted to give an update on Go Lake Havasu. So last week, we all received the quarterly report from Go Lake Havasu along with the financial reports, and they're continuing to move forward. They're making changes throughout the organization on their personnel, and as of right now, they have hired Lisa Kruger, the previous CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, to lead the organization as they continue to move forward and make the changes that need to be made. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Lane. Are there any other council committee reports? All right, item 10 is our future meetings. Our next meeting is on Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. It's a regular meeting. We also will have our tentative budget and CIP adoption up for discussion. And then on Tuesday, June 25th, 2024, we'll have a regular meeting. In that meeting, we will discuss the final budget adoption. Then on Tuesday, July 9th, 2024, we'll have our regular meeting and the property tax levy will be up for consideration. Item 11, are there any future discussion items? Seeing none. Item 12, motion to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you for being here. Be kind. We'll see you next time.